it kind of was a challenge for me, you know.
To pay attention to things like this because I just learned the other day that
It's working the system. It's a monopoly game. You see what I'm saying?
y'all have to have a plan. See, we can't be giving away all this information. You know what I mean? We back with another episode, More Action Podcast, and it's Brandon J. I'm here with my boy Nino.
Yes, sir. What's happening? What's happening? Nino the Great,
Yeah,
one and only.
we're gonna get into all the information you need to know about credit. We're gonna talk a little bit about banks and how we feel about their system and things you could do to work the system. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out there don't know what they can do with their cash when they want to get their credit right. Maybe you could get a business name going. We're gonna learn all of that. Somebody who's doing it for themselves. Nino the Great over here got his LLC started. He got his credit up. Got a couple cars out there in the lot, man.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about how to get loans, how to get credit cards the fast way, how to build your credit if you got a 300, 400, 500 score, how to get it up the fast way. If you're starting a brand new LLC, I know some people don't got business credit. They want to be able to get apartments, houses, vehicles within the first 3-6 months. They don't want to wait till the business credit. Well, I got a way you can get it through the personal side with a brand new LLC, especially if you got money coming in. That's even better. So, we're going to learn a lot.
See, man, you can't, I don't know, man. See, we can't be giving away all this information. You know what I mean? I might post a little bit, but you might have to pay for the rest. I don't know. This information, I'm telling you, it can do a lot for you. You got to pay attention. You got to understand what we're talking about. It's what the wealthy people doing. It's not about black. It's not about white, Indian, Asian. It's what the wealthy are doing.
Yeah.
These things you can do right now with the money you're earning at your job. We're going to get into it. So first off, when did you get into credit? Obviously, everybody has that point in their life when they're using just cash, borrowing money, debit cards. But when did you get into credit?
Really got into it about 2 years ago, I'll say. It really started with a heartbreak because I first went into the dealership, tried to get a vehicle, and I kind of knew about credit working. I was making about $1,500 at the time. This is before I went self-employed and did what I did with my LLC.
Like $1,500 a month?
Yeah, like $1,500 a month total. So I knew my credit score. My credit score, it was like 5, and I'm okay to share it because this was 2 years ago. Hey. It was like 520 at the time. So
I can feel you on that one.
I went there. Immediately they told me, denied. You can't get this. You need so and so down. I'm like, damn, that's how much I need down. Like, it just broke my heart. And went back to another dealership. They told me no. Went to another dealership. They told me no. So I went to like 5 dealerships within that week. All of them told me no. I'm like, man, this can't be. So I started thinking of a way like, what can I do? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. What can I do? So
they was pulling your credit too every time you went to go do that.
Every time. So what made me get into it was I said, you know what? I'm about to go on YouTube. All of the information is on YouTube.
YouTube University. I'm telling y'all playing with it.
I'm watching 20, 30 videos I'm talking about every week. I'm watching 20, 30 videos for like a month straight, 2 months straight. And I can just remember like, okay, I got this knowledge. Now it's time to apply it. It's time to apply this knowledge. So that's exactly what I did. I messed around and got another job. I used to work at what's the pizza place called? Papa John's.
Oh, right.
And then I was doing DoorDash at the time. Right. So what I was doing was fixing my credit. And then I was, doing this at the same time. So I'm like, okay, I'm fixing my credit. Let me go ahead and start getting some credit cards. So I found out how to get certain credit cards to start building my credit up again. So within a year, my credit just jumped sky high with over like 200 points.
That's crazy. Wait, hold on. Not to interrupt you, but like your story is similar to mine, man. I found out my credit score was in the 500s, man. I don't even remember. But the first card I got was a secured card. Like I gave the bank $200.
Yeah.
And they put that as credit for me. Yeah. Is that what you did? Or like, did you get a credit card off rip? Like, would you?
It wasn't that. What I did was, a lot of people don't know, but it's 2 companies called Self, and then another one called Self-Lender. Self-Lender. And then it's called Kickoff. These are the 2 companies that are like, what you would call, you have to pay them just like how you do a bank, but they will give you what they would call an installment loan. So instead of giving you $500-$600, they're giving you a $500-$600 line of credit. Right. But you got to put a deposit, sort of like a credit card. But with this, you automatically get approved. Anybody can get approved. You can have the lowest score, which is 300, and still get approved. Somebody told me they had under 300. We don't even think that exists. But even if it's under 300,
And it's
you
crazy.
can build it up.
It's crazy you saying that too. And see, that's what I'm saying. We not repeating those websites. We not. But anyway, gotta pay attention to things like this, because I just learned the other day that installment loans is a good part of your credit mix. You know, yeah, you can have credit cards, but for example, student loans, most people have student loans. It's actually good that you're still paying that off, because the IRS, the credit bureaus, are looking at that as when you're making payments, it's on time. So this installment loan you're talking about, especially if your credit low, you can't get approved for a credit card or, you know, a car loan or anything like that.
But not saying go get a student loan though, because
that's not what we saying. But it was the example that came to mind when I just, you right, pay student loans off, use that education just like you about to use this education, get that money back, pay it off. When did you really see the biggest change in your score? Because I know you saw some points.
The biggest change was when
take off.
It went to like 640, because my credit at the lowest was like 4. It was under 5. It was under 5.
Man.
Reason why my credit was like that, because I was young at one point in time. I'm 28 now, but when I was like 20, 21, I just wanted to get loans and not paying back. Oh, I thought this was a lick. You know, I'm about to get this. I ain't about to pay them back. You know, I'm thinking dumb at that time. You know, I wasn't thinking, which I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people have done that.
That's all of us, man.
Yeah, ended up in debt. So I had a vehicle that I couldn't pay on. I was working on base, but I couldn't pay for the vehicle at a certain time. They came repo the vehicle. So my credit was bad. I stopped caring about it, you know, until like I said, 2 years ago when I was like 25, 26, I wanted to try to get another vehicle. And it was like, man, you hadn't paid on this and your credit is shot. And it just changed my mind. So once that 200 from 440 to 640, and then this was 2 years ago though. No, this was a year ago when it shot up. You see what I'm saying? Right. 2 years ago is when I started. Then it took me a year. So about a year ago when it shot past it, I was like, okay, now it's time to go get some things. And it's already looking good because I already paid off my past debt. So it's just showing, okay, he got a 640 score. He paid his stuff. He's, you know, on his credits is satisfied. He paid it off. Okay, cool. Go ahead and trust him. Let's start giving him some credit cards. So I started getting like 4 or 5 credit cards in like 4 or 5 months. And that really boosts my score.
Y'all gotta understand, they wanted us to believe, don't get into debt. Don't get credit cards. But the reality is, that's the only way the people who have what you want, which is that dealership, that home you want, the only way they're gonna trust you is with good credit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That loan you want for that business, you know, maybe you don't even want to start a business. Maybe you got some things you need to take care of, you know. You can't get that loan without the trust. You know what I'm saying? That trust is through the credit score.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't work on your credit score, you're gonna be out here just asking people for help, you know, hey, let me borrow this, It's crazy, man. We as people can't print money like these banks do. You know what I'm saying? They could just out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? You need 10 bands, it's right there. Once you got your credit right and you said, all right, it's time for me to get some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Would you go after first an apartment, or were you looking at, all right, I need a vehicle, I'm trying to get a car loan? Like,
my first thing was
after credit cards. Your first
after the credit card, like right after I got my car.
Yeah, I would say.
I went into getting vehicles. My first vehicle was it was my Chevy Camaro. That was in my name,
right?
Not in mama name, you know, not auntie name. No, first vehicle I got was my Chevy Camaro. If a lot of people don't know, it's on my YouTube, Life with Nino, LIFEWITHNINO, Life with Nino.
Check that out.
So I got 2 vehicles on my YouTube. My first one was my Chevy Camaro. When I went to Vaden, right there in Beaufort, to get that, they saw my credit score, they saw them credit cards, they were like, okay, and they approved me right on the spot. I had a few people few banks that actually approved me. So I was like, okay, when I seen that was like, yo, my method actually worked. Denied, now I'm getting approved.
Right, and that's another thing I want to ask you. Did you put any money down? Did you do a down payment?
No, I didn't have to.
That's
considering
important.
That I did.
Right,
it brought down my payment more, because I always tell people it's good to get vehicles without putting money down, but I choose to do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, see, my credit wasn't 750 at the time anyway. It was 648. Yeah, so, and I still got approved. Didn't have to put money down, but I still did.
That's important right there. You know what I'm saying? Because this credit score, went from what it was
A year ago.
a year. Yeah, right. Within a year, he changed his credit score, and the new score was able to get him. Basically, he was able to drive off the lot if he wanted to. Yeah, he put money down, but just a year ago, he couldn't get a loan just because of the score. He had money to pay for it, could have put the same money down, but what happened? Different outcomes because of the work he put in towards his credit score. The knowledge that he learned helped him raise it maybe a lot of points. You got to work on these things, and we're gonna start talking about not just getting things for the fun of it. You know what I mean? When you get things like cars, maybe a house, you can turn it into an asset. It doesn't have to cost you money. You can create an LLC. You get a business name going, transfer these things. So let's talk about that for a little bit, because I know you got an LLC, right? Go ahead and tell them a little bit about that.
So I started my LLC. How people say it's your calling to do kind of certain things. It kind of was a challenge for me, you know what I'm saying? Because at first I couldn't get vehicles. Now I'm getting approved for vehicles. A couple months later, I decided to go to CarMax. On my mind, I wanted to get another vehicle. I got a 392 Hemi Scat Pack. I got approved for that, and they saw the Camaro. Then my credit really boosted after that. So after I got that vehicle, I was thinking, okay, you know what? What about renting these vehicles out? I came across a video on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, about car rentals, about Turo and things like that. And I was like, you know what? What if I start an LLC? You see what I'm saying? My own business, start renting my vehicles out, and then start actually getting, accumulating money for this LLC, and then start getting some more loans. Loans companies are now sending me letters. I just haven't picked them up and say, okay, let me accept it. Or knowing the fact that I got that mail somewhere sitting, knowing that I can easily call them and say, look, I accepted the offer. I know it's there. That's what I'm saying. So
this is what I'm talking about. He's got options. He can get more vehicles if he wanted to, based off of doing what some of you are doing right now, making payments on time. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but the difference is, he's applying it towards credit. When you pay, cash for everything, and you keep things in your personal name, it's good. But when you have a business name started, and by having these loans on your credit, it shows dealers that you can handle this type of money.
Yeah.
You never bought a car before, and why would we give you the best interest rate? Why would we even give you a loan? But see, when you got 2 or 3 vehicles on your credit report and you paying it off every month on time, oh yeah, go ahead, take your pick.
Like a person with a 640 credit score like me, having credit cards paid off on time. Say I got 5 credit cards, right? And the person with a 750 credit score walk in, he only got 1. You see what I'm saying? His is probably $1,000 credit card. Mine probably go up to $5,000, right? I probably already got a vehicle, which is the Camaro. Been paying on that 6 months. Me and him walk in and both try to get a $45,000 Scat. Who's more likely to get approved, me or him? Me, because they're gonna look like, dang, he got more responsibility. We see in our eyes. He got 5 credit cards. He got another vehicle he's been paying on for 6 months. This person only got 1 credit card. They don't even have a car in their name. Or they might have 2 credit cards, because 750, you're gonna at least have 2 credit cards. And how they gonna look at it, got a rent payment he's paying on time, a phone bill he's paying on time. They're looking at me as a more responsible being. So what they're gonna do is, boom, he's approved, and they're gonna ask this 750 score for more information. They want to approve him because of his score, but that's just a score. He doesn't have anything that can prove, hey, look, I can handle a $700 payment, $800 payment, $1,000 payment. I know some people paying $1,000 a month for a Scat Pack. Like that's ridiculous. I'm not paying nowhere near that, but that's because of my credit.
That's how they get you. These interest rates out here, crazy.
Credit.
When you don't have your credit straight, they gon' get their money one way or another. You walk in there trying to get the same car as my man here. You, like he said, gonna be walking out of there paying $1,100,000 a month, and you're gonna be paying interest for the first couple of years anyway. You ain't even paying towards the principal of the vehicle, and then you probably gonna want to sell it. You probably gonna want to trade it in. So what's that mean? You just been paying interest the whole time. Now you're gonna end up in another deal. You be stuck doing the same thing. You gotta understand that getting your credit right can lower these interest rates on the loans you want, the credit cards you end up getting, all of that. You don't have to use your own money. Fix your personal credit. Come up with a plan. Start an LLC. Then you can get business credit. Move everything from your personal to the business side. We gonna get into all of it. Brandon J. So these banks, right? What banks you like? Because personally, my mom was in the Navy, so shout out Navy Fed. I done had an account since I was born. So, Navy Fed, I fuck with like Wells Fargo, but what banks you fuck with?
Well, see, Navy Fed, they number one, of course.
Okay, so you too.
But
okay.
I don't have an account with Navy Fed. I just don't know why. I should have been had an account with them after the knowledge I found out. But I think once I start my second LLC, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Navy Fed. Because I think once they notice and see what I got going on, I think they're gonna really
right.
So, but I ain't gonna speak on
Navy Fed is a generous bank, man. You know what I'm saying? You pay your bills on time, and you get a lot of products with them. Checking account, maybe a credit card. It's off after that. It's off to the races.
Yeah. See, I'm with Bank of America. Reason being because Bank of America got this thing where, and this gonna help a lot of you right now who's thinking about starting an LLC or who's just started it that's less than 30 days old. If you have a 650 credit score and you're thinking about starting an LLC, or you have one that's less than 30 days old, Bank of America has a program right now. I'm gonna tell you all the details now. It's like this. You go ahead, you try to get a business loan with them. You don't have to have no business credit. What they're doing is they want to loan new LLCs money. Why? Because they want to see you succeed. They're trying to compete with Navy Fed and other banks, just like I'm saying. They're trying to compete with them in the business opportunity. They're trying to compete. So they want to throw this money at the new LLCs. But if you have a checking account with them or any other bank within the next 60 or 90 days, and it shows in your bank account that you haven't really had no money coming in, they're going to deny you. See, this is why they love giving money to the people who have new LLCs, because they want to throw the money at you. They don't know that you have, this money coming in or that money coming in. They're assuming, okay, let me go ahead and throw this money at you. But if they're going to see that this 60 or 90 days old and you ain't got no money coming in, you're not going to get approved nowhere. But Bank of America has that program. So those who want to start a new LLC, call Bank of America, say, hey, look, I want to start, I have a new LLC. Give me your EIN number. You want to start a business checking or business savings with them. I'll do both. And then probably the next day say, hey, now I want to go ahead and get this loan that's called, that y'all do for new businesses. Okay, boom. If you got a 650 score, man, they're probably about to approve you for 10 bands. And you ain't got no business credit, absolutely none. All you got to do is have good personal credit. Now you got a business loan. Now that's how you build business credit.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what's up with it, because I started my LLC, and I got my business on the side going, painting and doing construction, helping, people do handyman work. So that's something I can look into, because when you need access to, tools that could build your business, you know what I'm saying? Why not use, I don't want to say free money, but available money. You know what I mean? That's another thing I want to say too, because you get these credit cards, you get these car loans, you get this business loan, let's say, and you're not paying it back. That's something we gotta address. Y'all have to have a plan. Don't go out here getting all of these, credit cards, getting these car loans, and you're not trying to start a rental company, but you got 3 cars.
Yeah. Or even if that, like he said, have a plan. And that's what I did at 2021 is I did not have a plan. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna get this money and splurge on it. Nah, I didn't know nothing about no business. And my information really can help people that's about to graduate high school, that's not thinking about college, military, they just want to work and start their own business. This information can help y'all, because y'all can be, by the time y'all turn 21, and y'all can be balling. I'm telling you, y'all can be balling in a $50,000 vehicle, $80,000 vehicle, just working a regular job, just off of good credit.
Let me ask you real quick. You know anything about trade lines?
I'm familiar with trade lines. So I'm still learning about it, because that's a lesson that I definitely going to, teach. On my YouTube, we'll talk about that later. It's called Unblocked Access. That's my second YouTube, Unblocked Access. But I'm not too familiar with it, but I'm definitely learning about trade lines.
Right. See,
getting them on the business side though, not personal.
Like he was saying, for all the young people watching, if you 17, 16 years old, and this information sounds good to you, and you're like, man, I'm trying to start building my credit. Unfortunately, you can't till you're 18, but with trade lines, you can. You know what I'm saying? Look for people, in your circle that have established credit. Like, for example, Nino and I said, I need a trade line. I'm trying to boost my credit score probably 10, 20, 30 points based off of his history, based off of his, on-time payment. He could set me up on one of his cards as a trade line. From 16, 17, you could be building credit, before you even establish your own credit with your own personal credit card. So,
and that's another thing I was gonna say is if you have kids, and your credit is 650 up, you don't got no negative derogatory things on your credit, you can add your kids to your credit. You see what I'm saying? Or a credit card, or like you can really do that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
and this is important because say you got that smart one in the family that's ready to start the business. You got the Mark Zuckerberg, growing up in your house. He's ready to go, but damn, I ain't even got, $5,000 to work with to buy my laptop, or I don't even got $10,000 to go start this business and get an office. But with good credit, you could go get that tonight in one day, a couple of hours at the right bank. We talking about Bank of America. We talking about Navy Federal.
Wells Fargo, the big boy banks.
Chase Bank is giving out a good amount of money. Capital One Credit, that's another good bank. And Discover is a real good, credit card to get if you got like a 660, 670.
I was gonna say with that, another thing, if you can't, or you feel like you gonna get denied for a Discover credit card or Capital One, I know for sure Discover has programs where you can do, like you said, a secured credit card. If your score is below 650 or you in the 550 range, well, I think it's actually 580. If it's 580 and up, you can actually do a secured credit card with Discover to where you get them that 200, and then after a year you graduate, and then they'll give you probably like a $500 unsecured. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you that, or they probably give like a 10,000, 20,000 just off of a little 200 secure credit card. That's what Discover would do, because Discover would do that because if you get approved with Discover off of a secured credit card, they can boost your score over 100 points after that first year.
Exactly what happened to me too. I got a secured card with Navy Fed, had it for like 6-7 months, and then they upgraded me. Unsecured credit is what we're trying to get to. That secured credit is start you off. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and put some money down. Because if you have a savings, we're going to have to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to trash savings, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not the best thing to be doing when you know what we know. You know what I'm saying? Learning some knowledge could help you understand what you could do with that savings. Yeah. So yes, you could start a secured card, right? But another thing, for example, you could do with your savings is invest. You got stocks, you got Robinhood. I know you probably heard about that. Let the change from your spending go straight into investments. But let's talk about that for a little bit. You know what I mean? If you had, let's say, $1,000 in savings, what would you personally be doing with that instead of just keeping it in the bank?
Well, at a time like this, I wouldn't invest in stocks. I would wait till they go all the way down, and then, just because of the market right now, a lot of places losing money, a crash about to happen. We know this is about to happen, but we just don't know when. Yeah. But with that being said, if I had 1,000 in my savings account right now, what I would do is, and this is if I have a 600 score, 650 score, what I would do is get 2 secured credit cards, 200. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is $400 out of the $1,000, right?
Yeah. So
and I would only use 10% of those cards. So I'll probably use what, 10, 20, maybe $30 off of each $500, secure credit card. Or since I said I'm gonna put the 200, I would only use $20. You know what I'm saying? Off of each card. You see what I'm saying? So 200, yeah, $20, 10%. So
you building credit.
So I'm building credit.
Hear what he's saying right now. You got cash sitting in the bank. It's not doing nothing for you
at all.
You swipe that debit card, it's not moving your credit score an inch. You can take that same money, put it into a secured card, with Discover, Navy Fed time, but
for 6 months.
For 6 months to 7 months, you building your credit score, and now at the end of that, when they upgrade you, they're gonna give you that money back. and you're gonna get unsecured credit available to you. So you can spend it on the same things you've been spending on, groceries and this, that, and the other. Just remember, this is not free money.
Or I can say this, another way to flip that, right? You know, you got $1,000 and you want to know how do you flip that $1,000? Easy. Get them secured credit cards. Wait till that 6 months is over. Wait till they graduate you, right? Then start your LLC with the other $600 that you had, right? The other $600 that you had, start that LLC. Then think about this now. You had a 600 or 650 score, and you got 2 secured credit cards with 2 major banks, right? Think about this. Now you just start an LLC, right? With the other $600, you probably gonna have $300 left over. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get another secure credit card, a third one. Now you graduated from the 2 that you just started the first month. Now you can go ahead and get a loan, a $5,000, $10,000 loan, or get a $5,000, $10,000 credit card with Chase, Navy Fed, or Bank of America. Now you wondering how I got my $1,000 back? The credit cards. You just invested it in the credit cards because now you got a proof for a $5,000 or a $10,000 credit card, which you can use just like cash any way you want to. So now you want a new vehicle. Okay, let me go put this $5,000 on a new vehicle. People saying, okay, well, I can't use all of this. Nah, you can use it because one thing about a business credit card, they want you to use all of the money because they want you to pay all of it back. You see what I'm saying? So now you just spent $5,000 to get a brand new vehicle off of $1,000 that you just invested into yourself. And you ain't even got to get a vehicle with the $5,000. You can just invest that $5,000 or $10,000 into your business. That all you had to do was put $1,000 in 6 months ago.
See,
6 months ago.
That's
not
all it
5,
takes.
10 years, 6 months ago.
That's all it takes is thought. You just got to think. When you got money sitting, you know what I mean? It's doing nothing for you. But when you start moving money around, it builds. You know what I'm saying? $1 turns into 10. If you leave money sitting, it's getting worth less every day you're not using it. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. What do you think the banks are doing with your money? You put that $1,000 in the bank, they are legally allowed to print $10,000, and loan out 90% of it. So that $1,000 that you put in, you can get it back when you come to the bank and say, hey, I need my money. But they still gonna tell you what? Oh, it's pending. It'll take a minute. Some banks will give it to you right away, but some banks play with your money and they are making money off of it while you're letting it sit. You could be investing in yourself, putting this money towards an LLC so you can establish business credit, putting money towards secured lines of credit so then you can now double the amounts that you have available. And this is also another thing. Well, not another thing, but what we've been saying is use this money wisely. When you got this money available, now it's time to go buy that lawnmower and go cut a couple yards. Started a lawn service, paint machines. Maybe you go buy a couple of tools and use this knowledge you've been learning at work to go build some sheds out in the backyard for a couple people. Now you done started a shed building business with money that wasn't even yours. You know what I'm saying? You could use that extra money wisely and capitalize off of it. You don't have to spend it on things that are taken away from you.
And another thing I'm gonna say about that, just like how he's saying, you can use it on certain things, just like the $200 secure credit cards. Another example, you can take that $200, right, and go purchase something from, I want to say, a jewelry place, right? What's the famous jewelry place everybody go to?
K Jewelers?
K Jewelers, right?
Yeah, I got one of them cards.
Go to K Jewelers, right? And you can use that $200 line of credit and just purchase, put $100 down payment. You can use half of it because what's showing is if you use a credit card for something else that's dealing with credit, it's going to boost your score whether you use 50% of that card or not. That's another hack that people don't know about. So say I use half, I put $100 down on a K Jewelers jewelry, right? I got the jewelry. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay my credit card every month, and then I'm going to use my same credit card to pay the jewelry that I just bought every month. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm just really paying off one thing every month, but I really got 2. So with that being said, now I got 3 different things on my credit. You see what I'm saying? 2 credit cards, jewelry, and then 6 months pass, boom. Or with that $200, I can go get something else, get a loan from somewhere else, from another jewelry place. Now I got 2 different jewelry places, and I'm paying them with the credit card, but I'm paying the credit card only. I'm not paying two of the jury. I'm just
This
paying the
is
two of the credit cards, and the credit cards are paying for two of the jury. So after them 6 months, I'm gonna go ahead and pay the rest of that $200 off. So before 30 days hit, and I go try to get a vehicle, get a loan, they're gonna approve me on spot.
Man, he going crazy right now. Look, this is what I'm saying. Y'all spending this money anyway. Y'all don't understand. Y'all out here buying shoes, you buying your jewelry, you buying cars. But the difference is you're using your money. Yeah. When you use the bank's money to do the same thing you was gonna do anyway, you get rewarded for it. It's like it's an incentive that the credit bureaus give you to spend their money and just pay them back.
It's working the system. It's a monopoly game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and see,
the game of that is like Monopoly. You got to know how to work the system. You got to know how to work your way around it.
We got to figure out what you was talking about those business loans for new LLCs. But earlier he said the banks want you to win. And it's like, when you think about it, that's why they're throwing the money at you. They do want you to use it the right way.
They want you to come. They want you to start a checking with them. They want you to start an account with them. That's the Bank of America's thing is they're not going to tell you that, but I'm telling you that. So therefore, now when you start your LLC and it's 30 days, it's fresh. Yeah, go start that account with Bank of America because they want you to start with them. They're going to throw you the money. They're going to throw you the credit card, especially if your credit score is a 650 and up.
Use this knowledge to your advantage because think about it. They're throwing the money, but most people don't know what they're doing. Most people don't study, come up with a plan, have something to do with this money and a plan to pay it back. Don't be paying minimums. Don't be not paying attention to interest rates and the intro bonuses and when they stop. All of that is important. You got to understand if you got 12 months of, for example, a 0% interest credit card, right? You could get a credit card from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, freaking Capital One for 0% interest for 12 to 15 months. If you got a whole year of free money and you can't double that, possibly triple that, then this isn't for you. Don't deal with credit, and just start spending all over the place because you're gonna end up in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Pay this money back, use it wisely, capitalize off of the bank's money. This free opportunity that you can get just by knowing the knowledge we're talking about. People out here working real hard to get something that you could just go ask for. We don't have to work as hard. We changing the whole perspective. Okay, let's say for example you was trying to save up, and you working, you getting a check. How long you think it would take to save up like $10,000 realistically? No bank's help.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know people right now that'll save $10,000 within 3-4 years. It take them just that long. Right. Reason being because taxes are already being taken out and more taxes being taken out now. That more laws and things like that are passing. And think about it, you got the prices of grocery, gas, everything's going up. You see what I'm saying? It's gotten to the point where you can't really get an apartment on your own. You gotta have a significant other, most likely, unless you have a trucking job or something like a lawyer, or you work behind an office that pays you crazy money. A lot of jobs behind the office don't even pay you enough. Right, so,
right. And that's something else y'all need to understand too. Borrowed money is not classified as income, so it's tax free. You know what I'm saying? Every time you get that check from work, they done already took the taxes out. You done already, paid the Social Security, federal, all that stuff. But when you get money from the bank, the whole thing, you ain't got no tax. You can use that the ways we've been talking about it wisely. Make something happen, pay it back. Yeah. And you're not getting, you know what I'm saying?
Especially if you pay it back. You know what I'm saying? You get them 2 credit cards and do that method like I say, in the 6 months, you get that $5-10 loan, use that toward your business, and you pay it back. Man, 6 months after that or a year after that, they're gonna double that. So if you had got a $5,000, they might triple it to $20,000. You know what I'm saying? You had $10,000, they might give you $30,000, $50,000. Think about that. Who don't want that now? You got $50,000 sitting that can just pay for your trip. You can use $10,000 on a trip today and don't have to pay that $10,000 back. But if you have a good business plan, a good LLC, and you're gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars, paying that little $10,000 back ain't shit. You got a free trip basically.
For real. And people out here making content. Imagine you go on the trip, and that's why we're encouraging y'all to start LLCs. When you go get your taxes done, imagine everybody out here W-2 earner. I'm a W-2 earner. You know what I'm saying? I still go to work. I got my LLC on the side, but we get money back at the end of the year because they've been holding it the whole year. We've been paying taxes, and at the end of the year, we get a tax return. But when you are your own business all year, the money that you're spending, these things aren't just for you, it's for the business.
Yeah.
So if you're taking a business trip versus a personal trip, there's a lot more tax write-offs than there is when you just take that personal trip.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You could take, you know what I'm saying? You go to Miami, you know what I'm saying? You get there. Now you have a meeting with 2 or 3 people who are also making content, who also got a car rental service out there in Miami, and you about to trade keys and get a couple cars moving. Now it's a business trip. Now the whole thing's write-off. Now you can go to your tax accountant at the end of the year and say, look, yeah, I took this trip with this money I got from my business credit, but I used it for the business. So this is now something that can help you save money. You know what I mean? Save on taxes. This is free game. I mean, right now, y'all really gotta understand what we're talking about. It's not a game. This is what people are doing. You know what I'm saying? People out here borrow money to fund their grand ideas.
And speaking of that borrow money, a lot of people's minds are stuck on, I'm gonna use my money. Nah, that's the dumbest thing you can ever do, is use your money. Nah, go use their money. That's what you do. Use their money. You see what I'm saying? Keep your money. You see what I'm saying? Because if that business does fail, not saying it, but if your business does fail, you didn't use your money. So now you're not starting from ground zero. Use their money. You see what I'm saying? It's just about thinking.
The money moving. You got to keep your mind moving. You got to keep going. People fail and stop. If this is really for you, you got to keep going. Once you make one decision and things don't go the way you planned, it's time to pivot. It's time to go another route forward. You don't just retreat and stop. You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing I'm gonna say is, at times like these, you can't stop, because once you get to a certain point, you say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get comfortable. Realize price is still going up, things are still getting worse. So while you sitting comfortable, you got others who are still elevating. No, I'm gonna still elevate. I want more. I'm gonna pass you by. When laws are changed, things are changed. Now your business slowed down because you wanted to be mediocre. You wanted to, oh, I'm gonna keep it like this. No, you got to keep elevating, man. When you keep elevating, that's when more comes to you. You see what I'm saying? That's when more doors are open. Then you can elevate to a certain point where you might meet somebody or find another career that might be bigger than the career that you already fell in love with, all because you kept going. You see what I'm saying?
When you decide that you want to do something and you stop, all the time that you spent thinking about what you could have done, you could have saved by just doing it. You know, instead of thinking, man, you know, what if I started that LLC? Why not just start it? You know, the worst thing that could happen is later on you find out, oh man, I didn't handle my LLC this way last year. Okay, well, next year that means you know exactly what to do. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm just done with LLCs, I'm tired of this book. Nah, that's the point. You know what I mean? Not everybody came out walking. You had to crawl before you walk, and then you run. You gotta keep elevating, just like he said. Have an idea, you gotta roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you got to. And I try to tell people is, man, never give up, man. Like he said, man, it can seem hard right now, but realize how many millionaires out there who have been through the storm, you know what I'm saying, who've been through the pain, who've been through all the bullshit, who've mastered facing the obstacle, facing the problem, and then getting over it. You see what I'm saying? So always remember that after the storm ain't nothing but golden rainbows. Right. You know what I'm saying? Every business is going to go slow. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? You got something that might go fast, you know what I'm saying? But how many stories that have you heard that had a fast business? I haven't heard much. So.
Exactly. You got to get around like-minded people. You got to get around people that's willing to take the risks like you, and whether you fail or succeed, keep it going. You know what I'm saying? We more than likely gonna be doing a part 2.
Oh yeah, we will.
We got plenty more information to give you. But you know, before we get out of here, give them one tip to take with them for the next, you know, couple of weeks that they can use, you know, when they facing a problem.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? It's something somebody told me it's something somebody told me, but it's something I learned. So I'm gonna do all my experience. I ain't gonna say somebody tell me, because I don't let it tell you something somebody else tell me. We can be going through something today, but that don't mean you'll be going through it next year, next month, next week, or tomorrow. The minute that you give up, the process starts all over again. Remember that. So the moment that you realize that and you keep on going, you're going to find it and you're going to catch that goal. You're going to catch it. Just do not give up. Please don't give up. The knowledge is here. It's just you have to be open-minded to go look for it. You know what they say? You find, you shall see. You know, you seek, you shall find. Whatever they say.
Yeah, exactly.
However they say that verse.
Yeah, you seek, you shall find.
Yeah, you seek, you shall find. Well, you got to go look for it. It ain't gonna pop right in front of you. You got to look for it. Then once you look for it, then you start to see different doors start opening up to you. But you got to go seek it first.
Right.
It's gonna find you, but you got to seek it first.
I couldn't have said that better myself, man. This is the More Action Podcast. I'm Brandon J. You know, Nino, go ahead and tell them one more time.
It's your boy Nino the Great. Like I said, go on my YouTube, Life with Nino, LIFEWITHNINO. And this interview will be on my page as well as my boys.
Yes, sir. More Action Podcast, Brandon J on YouTube. You know, either way, be looking out for part 2 because this ain't all we got for y'all. You know, more information to come. Use what we've been talking about in this video to fix your credit, because it's one thing then the next. You fix your personal credit, then you work on that plan, then you start that LLC. You know what I'm saying? Business credit is just, it keeps going. It's good talking to you, bro.
Good talking to you.
That's shit,
Part 2 coming.
You can't be giving away all this information for free, bro.
I got a website coming where y'all, I'm telling you, it's a website coming.
Hey,
it's a website coming.
Stay tuned, man. Be on the lookout.